Wealth Dynamics Mechanics. If you've just found out your mechanic profile, then welcome to the team. And I'd like to just share a couple of things to me of what it means to be a mechanic. I'm a creative profile, so I'm good at starting things, terrible at finishing anything. Mechanics, on the other hand, are great at finishing things, but not that good at starting. Good example is someone like Henry Ford. Henry Ford spent his whole life under Thomas Edison, working for General Electric, with Thomas Edison being his mentor. He was always trying to create new things, but he never managed to make it until eventually the car industry had got past its novelty, where it was all about the new idea. And it actually got to a point where now it was through mechanics or the economies of scale and the structure which allowed someone like Thomas Edison to come along and say, well, I don't know how to do that. What about you? And Henry Ford then says, yep, I'm going to make a way that everyone can have a car, but I'm going to do it in a much simpler, easier way. Ray Kroc McDonald's did the same thing. Didn't come up with McDonald's, but did come up with a smarter, simpler way that everyone could now actually access that. Someone like Jeff Bezos with Amazon.com did the same thing with the way that we now buy books anywhere in the world by going there, and he doesn't even have to create the product. What he'll do is make sure the system is strong enough that he can then use anyone's products. The key thing to being a mechanic is to know that your ability to get frustrated about what's not working is in fact your greatest strength. And your ability to now use that strength within a team by communicating effectively with them. And how do you do that? Well, the first thing mechanics should do is find themselves a star, because stars have a way of communicating which you do not. But the stars need mechanics. And so by you actually having a star that can actually be there, personifying everything that you believe and everything you say, and then from that star then to have a trader who is someone who, again, takes on the bass, the tempo, which neither of you two have. And as a result, is able to actually take all that concepts and make sure the service is right and make sure people are dealt with in the right way. It allows you to keep focused at what you do best, which is really taking things apart, putting them back together again, finding a smarter way. One of the most famous mechanics is someone called Sam Walton. And Sam Walton with Walmart, he was famous for going into his competitive stores and watching everything they did and kind of making notes about it and then bringing it back and then implementing the very best stuff, but doing it in a way that was there for Walmart. You're going to find the same things. You don't have to create anything new. In fact, as you try, you're going to struggle because every time you come up with an idea, you're going to think there's a better way to do it because you're always going to try and perfect. But by actually going out there differently, by looking at what other people are doing and how you can do it better, don't try and take the idea away to do it yourself, but join their team first. And that's why some of us as mechanics, as you get going, you might be thinking, geez, does that mean I've got to look for the best idea to join? Go out there and look for the idea that can do with the most improvement and join that. And as you do that, you might be thinking, well, that's fine if I had my business, but I'm not even there yet. When you take the wealth spectrum and you find out your level, then there's a good chance you might find that as you're going through that, one of the biggest issues that you've had is that people just don't understand you, or that they find that you're too head in the clouds, or they find that you're too abrupt in the way that you communicate, or that you take too long perfecting what needs to be perfected. These are all your greatest strengths. And by actually connecting with others in the right way, it allows you to be able to complete the circle for everyone and do it in a way which everyone after that circle is complete, not before, but afterwards, is going to look back and realize it was you that actually allowed them to bridge from one paradigm into the next.